Hey, everybody. Welcome to Grace for Living After Loss. I'm super excited for today's episode because I am with one of my favorite clients and one of my favorite people in the world, Valerie Nelson. She is going to share with you today how it is that she came to work with us, what the experience was like working with us, and kind of what her ahas and takeaways were, and just give you the real deal on working with us, because you can hear it from me all day long, but it's much better to hear from someone else. So Valerie, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
So
Good. Well, for all the folks who don't know you yet, can you please just share a little bit about your loss? I know you had several losses, but maybe share, if you feel comfortable, the losses beforehand and then the loss that had you actually looking for help.
Okay, so before COVID, both of my parents died within 3 weeks of each other, and it had nothing to do with COVID. I quit my job, went and took care of them. It was from Sunday to Sunday. I don't really remember much. And then I know that I talked to a hospice counselor. My background is in psychology as well. So of course we're the hardest people to fix because we think we have all the answers. I was very hesitant, didn't want to. I'm like, oh, I know what she's going to talk about, whatever. So I think I talked to her maybe once a month. Then this last year, in June, my oldest daughter had a stillborn baby a week after we had her shower. And just shocking. Nothing's the same. Nothing will ever be the same. Feel like you're in a bubble. So I'm always a proponent of, oh, go to therapy, whatever. But yeah, okay, dish it out, Val. But, listen to yourself. So I'm like, okay. I have no idea. I got to do something. So I found a local counselor that my insurance took. And I believe I went for 5 weeks. And I don't know how good she was or wasn't, but I think she was perfect for me for the time, because all I did was scream and cry and talk for the first. After either she would remember to ask the question or I would. Am I going to hurt myself or somebody else? No. Okay, get on with it. So there was an hour, whatever. So then I told her that I was reading every nasty thing on the news. Just any horrible thing I could read, I read. And she goes, well, why do you think you're doing that? And I'm like, she goes, I think you're doing it because you're making sure that God didn't single you out. Yay. Great. Okay. So now went down the rabbit hole on the internet. All this grief stuff came up, these support groups, this and that, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not I'm a proponent of it because I know it's helped a lot of people. But for me and my personality, I've done Bible studies with a bunch of girlies, and it was like the best thing ever. It was awesome. So that is awesome. Okay, it really, really is. But I went down the rabbit hole. I watched a couple people's videos and stuff, and not to be shallow or whatever, but they just didn't resonate with me. It's like, I told you before, do you like red sauce on your pasta or white sauce on your pasta? It just wasn't there. So I kept searching, and then I saw the title of your book. You're not going crazy, you're just grieving. And it was like, so I just was like, okay, I do know I'm crazy, but apparently this person doesn't think so. So I looked at I totally vetted you. That I should be private eye, Val. I vetted you. I looked at all your reviews. I listened to your videos. I got the book, immediately read it, and then I called for an appointment. Why? just even in your videos, you have a, I don't know, aura, glow. You could just tell that you're a woman of God. I mean, it's like bar none. It's like there's no room for discussion. And that's what I gravitate toward, and that's what I needed. I didn't need any psychology 101 or whatever, because if God's not in it, I'm not in it.
Right.
Okay. I can't. It just doesn't work for me. So when we did the what do you want to call it? Assessment, first meeting, first whatever. Not only was it the loss of a grandson, my daughter was 30 weeks along. She had to deliver a deceased baby.
Yeah.
And all I can run through in my head is, why did I ever, my child is being tortured. I'm being punished. Yes, it's about the loss of Clyde. I know I will see him, but it's the rest of my daughter's life that I'm worried about. And that's where the my grief comes from on a daily basis. And you help me to trust that God will take care of her, because I know she leans on him, but it's just horrifying. The whole thing is horrifying. Yeah. So when we started and you had your grief assessment, I started with 3s and 4s, and now it's 1, 8, and the rest 9.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 is like perfect. Just like reading the Bible and stuff, we never graduate. So I can't put 10 only because I'm not Christ, because he is perfect. I am not. Okay. And a lot of the aha moments were, because I've taught salespeople, this and that and whatever, and it's an equation. You can't get to here from here unless you do all the stuff in between. It doesn't make sense. And if you don't understand where you're going, everybody wants the quick fix. Okay. So we all dieting, makeup, hair, blah, blah. Okay. So, I understood. Did I fight against some stuff? Sure. But what you do is not only do you listen, I know that you pray. And it was very, very cool, because in our conversations, you go, wait, something coming in. I'm like, cool. Okay. And I don't know what my life would be like right now if I didn't do this. I don't want to know, because this is bad. Would I hurt myself or whatever? No. Was I in a major depression? Oh, heck yeah. Okay. And it still comes and goes. It depends. Okay. But the tools, it's like when you're going through this, you need tools. Yeah. First of all, you don't even know you have a toolbox. Then you don't know where the key or how to unlock the toolbox. You don't even know you have anything in there. But when you have something in there, it's like, old habits. Okay. Because you're so used to thinking one way or another, you're just going to go there because that's your comfort zone. But when you can turn the channel, which my husband used to tell me all the time and just drove me bonkers, turn the channel. I don't even know where the remote is. I don't even know what channels I can go to. And what you taught me was to have my brain, because when I start, I do my framework statement constantly. I pray concept. First thing I do in the morning is I read the Bible verse of the day, because I have to start my day. Aha moment. was the what I needed to reduce, completely eliminate, and increase.
Yeah.
Okay. That was key.
Yeah.
That was mind blowing, because remember when I told you when I was reading all that, the horrible things of the planet?
Yeah.
Got rid of all my news feeds, eliminated everything. That helped tremendously.
Yeah.
Tremendously. I would recommend your book, watching all your videos, getting on any of those Zoomy things, doing a one-on-one with any, because it is different. It is different. A coach is different than a counselor.
Yeah.
It's just different. I've done rapid transformation therapy with stuff that happened to me before. Again, quick fix, but it worked. Okay. But this is not to be in therapy for the next 3 to 10 years of my life.
Right.
Okay, this is because who knows? You walk out that door, sister, or just get out of your bathtub. You don't know. Okay, could that be it? So I cannot live the rest of my life like I was. It's not fair. And then because it's different, because my daughter has her own therapist because of what happened directly to her.
Yeah.
So, and I have a coach, and I'm happy for her. She's happy for me.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I think that's a good point to make. There's 2 quick points I want to make. The first is for people who are watching that maybe don't realize that our program is 10 to 12 weeks. So like this massive shift, yes, it does take some time, right? Like it doesn't happen instantaneously, but it can happen in a shorter period of time than what we think. It doesn't need to be, certainly doesn't need to be years and years, and it doesn't even need to be months and months, right? Like 10 to 12 weeks, you can have this big of a shift. And the other point, is like coaching versus counseling. I think there's a place for all of it, right? Like some people will work with a counselor and they'll get what they need just from working with a counselor. Some will work with a coach and they'll get everything they need from working with a coach, and some work with both in tandem.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So,
my husband, he wouldn't mind me saying he was an AA advocate, but he still had a counselor on the side. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. You know what it's like? It's like, okay, so you're gonna find the right shoes and the right dress and the right whatever to do your ensemble, okay? And you put that time into getting it just right. People need to realize that support groups, meetings, books, this, that, or whatever may not go with your outfit. Okay, it's if you should spend the time and the energy and your resources to fix your brain and your heart.
Amen.
Because this is like so it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane when your heart hurts so bad.
Yeah.
And it travels up here, and whatever you're thinking travels right back down here.
Yeah. And then the rest of your body and the rest of your life. Like,
everything. The stress is horrible.
I always tell people, and I agree, and I hope people realize, like, you are the most valuable asset that you have. You may think it's your house, you may think it's your stock portfolio, you may think it's, but you are the most valuable asset that you have, because you and only you, A, have to live with yourself for the rest of your life, and B, you and only you can do what God created you and only you to do. And so getting the you in the best shape possible and healed so that you can do what God created you to do. It's why we're all here, right? It's why we're all here. And so I always tell people too, whether it's not working with us, like keep looking until you find it and keep working it until it works, right? That's such an AA saying, like, find the thing that you resonate with and do it, and do it until you get the result you're looking for, because there's no other option. I mean, there is another option, and that's being miserable and sad and debilitated.
Well, it's just we are not, brunette, blonde, blue eyes, brown eyes, right? It's the 6 inches between your ears.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
Yeah.
Not what we look like, not what we drive, not where we live. It's the 6 inches between here. I always say going into my brain is like going into a bad neighborhood. You do not want to be there. by yourself, man. You just really don't. Oh my gosh. No. Oh, and then with you, I mean, I'd walk into a room and there's conflict and I'm by myself. I mean, and having God on your side when you think he's not, having another human that that cares and that's praying for you and is not all talky talk.
Yeah.
Solidifying. It's solidifying. You have to keep them, just like, when they say you have negative thoughts, blah, 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 you need 50 million more positive thoughts to negate the negative. It's so true. And it's more and more so because when I was growing up, this world was not like this.
Yeah.
You could, oh, how does that song go? Look up the lyrics. No, before it was, read the album cover.
Yeah.
Album insert. Okay. Everything is so crazy different. Crazy different.
I want to say a quick piece. Sorry to interrupt, but I love the fact that you're a grandparent that lost a grandchild and that you sought help for yourself. And I just want to applaud you and let other parents and grandparents know the best thing you can do for your child is to get your own help and get well. A lot of grandparents want to stuff or ignore their grief because they're so concerned for their child, but you forget that your child is grieving and they're also concerned for you. So the best thing that you can do is take really good care of yourself so that you can be there for them in whatever capacity you can, and that they don't have to worry about your grief. It's one less thing that they have to worry about. And that same thing rings true for parents. If you've lost a child and you have other children or a spouse, the best thing you can do for your family is get the help for you, because you need to figure out how to get to healthy as quick as possible.
Oh, it's horrible. Do you want to be around someone who's sad all the time?
Yeah.
It's horrible. Does my husband want to... It's killing him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what to do,
right,
or what to say. Not knocking churches or whatever, but they're not equipped. I was a leader of a Bible study for 10, 15 years, whatever. We were not equipped for that. We would give out, anybody that you can find, just it was a sheet of paper that you can find in the phone book on your own.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not equipped. They can come beside you, support you, and love on you. But as far as this goes, no, they're not. No. And there's nothing wrong with that. They can't do that.
Right.
You can't be everything to everybody. That's why people have accountants or PT people or whatever. We can't do it alone.
Yeah.
Oh, the gifts of, it's in the Bible there about what other people. I can't. Oh yeah, I was an Awana leader. I was a Bible study. Whatever. I just can't rip them off. Okay, like some people can. Okay, but that's not. I used to get down on myself because I couldn't do it. But I know it's in there. I just have to look it up. That's all.
Yeah.
People get so spastic about that.
Yeah. Well, as always, you're delightful and a delight. I want to ask you to close by besides working with us, but if you were talking to, and let's make it specific to grandparents, what's either one piece of advice you would give them or one thing for them to avoid doing? What's something you wish you would have known sooner, or what's your best encouragement for them?
Again, because I said Sarah has her own people that specifically deal with women that have had stillborns. Very different than having a miscarriage. Yes, miscarriages are still sad and horrible, but having to deliver a deceased baby is ridiculous. It's like a horror movie. I would the biggest thing is to not compare. Oh, what did and my counselor said this. the biggest thing is to let them know that your coaching is working.
Mm.
And that's what my daughter kept saying. She goes, Mom, I'm really happy that you found Kelly and your coaching is working. Okay. With my daughter's deal, it wasn't, I mean, we had a weekly set, whatever. I would encourage the person that it happened to make sure that they have a set schedule with their therapist or counselor or coach or whatever. That's key.
Yeah.
Sarah, and we had a memorial. Tons of people showed up. It's very hard for me because when I go to her house, Clyde's urn is in the china cabinet.
Mm.
And then people have, because he is so real to them, because she held him.
Mm.
I've seen pictures of him. He's so cute. There's nothing wrong with him. It was a knot.
Yeah.
And people have given her like the Molly Bear and wind chimes with his name on it. There was another organization that sent a wooden heart with his name engraved on it. So a lot of families, they'll take that heart with them when they have family photos done.
Oh, okay.
And they hold up the heart for the baby. And I think you just have to go, because that's all different for them. Yeah. I mean, I can't say, do they, they have other kids? Was this, there's too many variables.
Yeah.
Too many. But you have to do something.
Yeah.
You had, as a grandparent, you have to do something.
Yeah.
And then don't do the compare game.
Right.
With whatever they're going through, and just like if they say something, and just don't say, well, my coach says that. Don't do that. No. If you want to keep the relationship with your daughter or son, don't ever do that.
Yeah.
And especially, no. Just don't do it. Okay.
That's good advice.
Well, gain from my pain, people.
This is because I'm fabulous and the coaching was fabulous. Not everybody's trying to hear it. So let them have their journey and their process, and you own yours and be responsible for yours and get the help you need. So yes. Yay. All good. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, hi. Okay. People, in regards to referring, some people love to be the yellow pages and they know stuff about everything and they refer. Some people won't even refer a movie, a doctor, a lawyer, a restaurant. Okay. They don't want to put their name behind it. You ask my family, because everybody watches you. Everybody's watching you through this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because my oldest grandson, he's a hockey player. So all the hockey, everybody is watching you on how you are handling this. And they've asked me a gajillion times, and I told them how. I go, I would never get through this without coaching.
Yeah.
Never.
The analogy that I use is that it's like we got recruited to the Olympics without our permission. It's like somebody wakes you up one day and says, guess what? You have to do this really hard stuff, and you have to train every day and do the hardest things you could ever imagine. And everybody's watching. Like, if you will do, you're doing this work, and it's like on an Olympic stage, because you're right. Everyone around you is watching, because death still is so personal and so taboo still to talk about, and whatever, it hits people in a very deep personal place. And so we didn't ask for this. We didn't ask to be the center of people paying attention and whatnot, but you are. If you're grieving a very close loss, you are. And so
when you're grieving, it brings all their stuff up.
Right.
Back from the who knows what happened.
Yeah.
And when or where or whatever. No, and you can't, just the biggest thing is whatever, you can't do it without God. I don't suggest that for anybody.
Yeah. That's why, like, our program is a faith-based, neuroscience informed, right? It starts with
That's
God.
me.
God is the source, but we use neuroscience practices and principles to fortify and systemize the way we receive the word and retrain our brains. We use neuroscience practices to retrain our brains. For me, it's really the practical application of renew your minds, right? Like,
I was a bio major. I love that stuff.
you loved all the science.
Oh, I was a shrinky dink bio major. Okay, so and teaching Awana and Bible studies. So this whole it's just perfect.
Yeah. So if you're
Perfect for a crummy situation.
If you're watching this and it's Christian and you're faith-based, but you also have the nerdy, sciencey, or for me, I'm a list person. I'm a like, tell me how to get from A to B in the quickest amount of time possible. Like, tell me what to do. That's how I am. And so that's why I created this program this way, because it's like, this is what I wish somebody would have been able to tell me when I was in the middle of it. Like, exactly. Do this, don't do this, you know? So anyways. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up, kids, but glad so much for watching. If you are looking for tips and tools and resources to move through grief and get back to living a life that you love, be sure to like and subscribe and share this channel with other folks. Thank you again so much, Valerie, for being here.
Peace out. Thank you, Cal.